Welcome. Welcome back, everybody, to another Tuesday Museday. We've got a lot in store for you on today's show. We're doing a dedication later, so get your dedications ready. I've got a couple videos to show you an amazing instrument you've probably never seen before, and if you've seen it, you've probably never heard it. That's coming up. A holiday song just to get in one last tune before the new year. Thanks for being here. Spring is here. Ooh, what is that? Hey, you guys, that was dad joke number one, all right? So a while back, it's very resonant over here. I have a lot going on. Welcome back to the show. Let me explain what's happening here. This is a spring out of the car that I'm restoring. It's 1971, vintage Corvette. And I wanted to bring it in today just to, bring a little spring into the season and also the music. I had a request from somebody, a friend, actually Julie Homey's husband. Julie's a piano player. You're going to see her in a minute playing on a holiday tune. And her husband said, hey, why don't you do some music with all the spare car parts that you have? And so I'm doing it. Not only did I use the spring today, which this is very heavy. I'm risking my life for you guys right now. This is very heavy, and I have it just suspended by a thread up here. But I will, in future episodes, I'm going to put a contact mic on this thing, and it has an amazing sound. Today it's kind of like a triangle effect, like the trine actually we had before. And if you spin it, you can get some pretty awesome effects. But there's actually a lot more going on in here. The lower frequencies, you have to get a mic close up or put a contact mic right on it, which I had one before, years ago. I had welded a plate onto the middle of the spring and had a contact mic. The other thing I have is this, which is the new gas tank that's gonna go in the car. And so I was, banging on this thing. But so, today's show is about getting gassed up, getting some fuel, rocketing into the new year, putting some spring in your step, having, feeling supported. How many puns can I make? All right. So I'm going to go over to the desk and say hello to everybody and stop the looper. That was fun, by the way. By the way, I'm going to tell you about the meter, or you could tell me about the meter. What meter was that in? And I want to tell you why it was auspicious, I guess, or suspicious. All right. Oh, hello. Too many knobs. All right, I'm going to go over to the desk and say hello to you guys. Stay right there. Be right there. Okay, let's see who's here. The usual suspects, I see. Some of you. All right, welcome everybody. I hope that, it's kind of hot. The mic is kind of hot. Let me see if I can back this up a little. All right, so a lot going on. So check this out, you guys. Actually, tell me, oh yes, it was Cornelius. It wasn't 7-8. That is absolutely right. You win something. I don't have anything for you, but you're the winner. 7-8, why? Okay, this is kind of a weird thing. I'm not super into numerology, but today is, December 27th, 2022. And so if you take all the numbers 1, 2, 2, 7, 2, 0, 2, 2, and you add them all up, now I need my calculator. That makes 16. And what is 16? 1 plus 6, 7. There you go. So we're staying in, that was in 7-8, just dedicated to today. That's one, you could do your own numerology on today's. But anyway, yeah, I thought I'd start in 7. Something about the odd meters, I felt like, this is a time of year where we sort of roll over into the next year, right? And we have this idea of years and dates and everything, which is completely made up. But let's just take it as a given for right now. I find that the odd meters, whether it's 5, 7, 9, whatever it is, they have this sense of incompleteness, right? They just roll right into the next cycle. Whereas 4, 4, 2, 4, 2, 2, the kind of marching meters, they just feel a little more blocked off, obviously. They're a little more even, and they feel a little more finite to me. Whereas 3, 3 and 7, 5, those feel, they have they have unevenness, and so they just tend to kind of roll forward in a way, but in a awkward way, in a way that's not as smooth. Well, except for 3 and 6. Never mind. All right. It's nice to see everybody. I see. Oh, so now Roseanne is Random Notes from Roseanne, and welcome. Thank you for moderating. And it looks like you have a new little logo or icon, whatever that's called, picture, thumbnail, I guess. And it's great to see Christine's here, Lacey's here, Sue, welcome, Shaman, Zito, Dave, and Cornelius. And so welcome, you guys. So what's coming up? A lot of things. We're just gonna dive right in as usual, and I will take that spring off while you guys are watching, not this next video, but maybe the one after. So I have a Christmas song. I previewed that last week. I played you guys my part, the little percussion breakdown part. But this week, and if you're a fan of the channel, you know this, but if you're new, welcome, and here's something new for you. This is a tune. I'm just going to play the whole thing. It's about 3.5 minutes, and I'm going to play the whole thing for you, and this is called Rooftop Samba, and Julie Homey, the piano player that I played with in the Yanni band, contacted me because we did a tune last year, and she said, hey, how about if we do another tune this year? So she arranged this up on the rooftop, samba style, and it features her, Jim Lutz, who's a friend of the channel. I'm a patron of Jim's channel. He's a patron of my channel. Maybe some of you are patrons of Jim's channel, but Jim's a trombonist, a great musician, improviser, does a lot of live streaming on Twitch. And just a great guy, and he was down. My college roommate buddy and good friend Jim Hirschman played guitar, and Toby Harwell, bass player. I've actually never met Toby in person. We're seriously like pandemic bandmates. We're like virtual bandmates. So Toby is playing bass, and I'm playing percussion. So I'm going to play that right now. I'll see you on the other side. Enjoy. Now do you have a spring in your step? All right. I did get the spring down from the ceiling. Look at this. I just want to show you. This is how it was hanging. Just you could do this. You know, put it over your baby's crib. You know, babies like to play with giant rusty springs just as much as anyone. All right. So that's that. Yeah, it was a fun tune. So sometimes I do play fairly normal sounding music, but that was fun. All of them great musicians, and like I said, I played in Yanni's band with Julie. And if you looked carefully, there's a couple things in that video. You can go back and watch it later, but I want to ask you, and I don't want to put you guys on the spot, but did you guys notice? Now, maybe not. It was way back there, but behind the bass player on the beach, did you guys notice what was happening? I'm not going to tell you unless maybe you guys saw it, but it was pretty cool. It was kind of an amazing coincidence what was happening on the beach. You can see it through the railing. There's a railing, and look behind Toby and check out what was going on behind him, all right, on the sand. Pretty cool, considering the song. That's all I'm going to say about it. All right, and then behind Julie was a platinum Yanni album, which I have one of those too. We both got one. For Live at the Acropolis. All right, we're going to move on. Next, so I've got a new series of videos I'm going to be putting up on the channel, but I'm going to be premiering them here on the show, and I will be giving patrons early access to these videos. So I'm going to go ahead and publish, right after I finish the show here, I'll go ahead and publish the video over on YouTube for patrons. And then a little bit later, we'll add it onto the regular channel for the general public. But I'm really excited about this series. So a little bit of backstory real quick. There was a remarkable percussionist in town, Emil Richards, who was really a pioneer of studio percussion. And I don't want to say just studio percussion. That just happened to be the format in which he often played. He was a studio musician. He played on thousands of TV shows. If you add it all up, it's TV, film, other stuff, and recordings, right? People's albums for music. But he played mainly, it was a studio musician. So in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, he was playing multiple sessions, sometimes 3 or 4 sessions a day. And Emil was just a pioneer. He loved to invent instruments, create instruments, find instruments. He had so many instruments. He's like the man. He really recreated studio percussion in as much as he expanded it. He invented a lot of ways to use the instruments in the studio a little more efficiently. And as we roll this series out, you'll see some of that. Now, I went over to LA Percussion Studio Rentals, and they were nice enough to host me and show me some of Emil's instruments. Emil passed away a couple of years ago. Sorry to say. You can hear his work on many, many, many soundtracks and things. But what this is I'm going to feature a lot of his instruments on the channel. And these are cool things, you guys. These are things that you're not really going to see anywhere, probably. I mean, they're kind of esoteric. And the first one I'm going to show you is exactly that. It's not that it doesn't exist outside of the studio world. It's just that it's unusual. And a lot of these are weird. Some of these are just like there's maybe a few of them that exist in the world. So the first one is not super rare, but it is unusual, and you may not have seen it. I just want to show it to you. It's a little strange. I talk about it. So this video, it's a few minutes long, maybe 6 minutes. And so I'll see you guys on the other side. This is Abby from LA Percussion Rentals, and you'll see her. And she was, like I said, she was hosting and had me in their warehouse room, which you'll see there's tons of stuff in there as well. But this is one of the first series of cool instruments. All right, enjoy, and I'll see you guys on the other side. That's right, you guys. It's turtle shells. Now, I know, okay, just don't click away yet. I know for some of you this is going to be like, oh, that's gross. But look, this is a traditional instrument. Abby's going to tell us a little bit about it, and then we're going to hear these because, yes, people in, and it might be more places than this, but I've seen these in Central America, South America. These obviously have been adapted to stands, but let's learn more about them, and then we're going to come back and hear them.
So these turtle shells are from Emil Richards, and they are mounted on these cool suspended stands, which helps them resonate more. And there's 2 sets of them, the higher and the lower. And what's cool that I kind of discovered is that each one has about 3 different pitches. So, and then.
So you were doing, show me on one, where you were hitting. Okay, so just, yeah. If we were biologists, we could tell you what these things are called.
I looked it up once and I already forgot. I like using fingers, especially if you can close mic it and get that real like slappy attack sound. I think they sound awesome.
Yeah.
And one of the things that Emil told me was that often composers were looking for an alternative to other instruments that they were using a lot in the studio. So these could be used as an alternative to like bongos. So
right.
They wanted something like it, but not that, you know, so.
Fans of, yeah, nice. I kind of, you know, I grew up with the Flintstones, and so I kind of feel like any moment we should see a little head come out of here and just be like, it's a living.
Right.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that? All right, so we're gonna do mallets. All right.
So sometimes they peel a little bit. That's just kind of part of the process, but it makes
some moisturizing.
Yeah, it has a little bit of buzz. Which
yeah.
I kind of dig.
Yeah, it's another part of the sound.
And if I use like the back of the mallets, just gently. Up here. So again, like kind of hitting it in a more of a slap.
Yeah.
Versus straight on.
Right.
Really changes.
Very different.
Yeah.
It's almost got like a tone block sound at that point.
Sure. Yeah.
Now these are very tough. And have you, as far as you know, does any sound come from the shell, the other side? I guess.
No, it's funny. I actually haven't tried.
Yeah.
Do I dare? Woo.
It shouldn't. It should stay in there. But I imagine since I've seen them played the way they're mounted. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little hard to get in there.
Yeah, you'd have to be. Okay, so that's possible.
Yeah, very muted.
Yeah.
That's more like what you see in a cartoon or something, right?
Right. If you see, yeah, which I'm sure exists in animation or something. I know I've seen like turtle xylophones or something. But these are used throughout the world. This is not just something that was invented just for this. Yeah.
But I feel like the other side is a lot more interesting.
Yeah, the other side has more variety.
Yeah.
So I realize some of you feel bad for the turtles, but it is, you know, part of the
We didn't make
cycle.
them. We got these from Emil Richards, and he also did not make them.
Yeah. No, this is a traditional instrument. These do exist in other places. So, yeah. Well, I'm going to try them out. All right, I got some hard yarn mallets. Let's hear them, starting with the tiny one. A little dominant 7. Got kind of a blues scale, you guys. All right, that's the high set. Let's check these low guys out. Nice interval. These are very musical. And this one is almost opposite. Usually the lower part here, or the larger, which makes sense, right? Longer part is lower pitched. On this one, I guess because of the structure, very, very close together, right? I feel like we could get into a song with these. It's like, very musical, and it's interesting that a lot of these sound like they're part of the same scale, which is weird. Maybe they were family. No, that's, sorry. These are from the family of amphibophones. Isn't that right?
Yeah, but aren't they reptiles?
Reptiliophones.
Yeah, it's funny because it's called, it used to have a tag on it and it said amphibiophone, but then someone said, isn't it a reptile?
A turtle?
Yeah. A reptile, right?
Leave your comments below. Is a turtle an amphibian or a reptile? I don't know. It's probably a reptile.
I think so.
Is it?
Yeah, bio was a long time ago, but I'm pretty sure.
All right. What do you guys think of the shellophone turtle? I'm not going to name it now because somebody will correct me. But what do you guys think? Seriously, do you know where these are from or where they're used? Have you seen anybody else use these in your travels? I have. What do you think? Yeah? No? Put it in the comments. All right, we're back. What do you guys think of that? Pretty cool, right? Turtles, I found out, are reptiles. They are not amphibians like frogs, but pretty musical. Now, you see, it says right here, it says blessings. So today, we're going to do something a little bit different than the Gimme 5. Instead of a Gimme 5, because it's the end of the year, we're going to do two things. We're going to have a music mindfulness reading, and that will be followed by a dedication piece that I will live loop and improvise, and I will use your dedications. I will try to integrate them as best I can. This is all just an idea. This is a big improvisation. So your job right now is to dedicate, say who you want to dedicate. Now it can be a person. I will include it in the song as to the best of my ability. It could be a person, it could be a cause, it could be a group of people, it could be just a wish for something, all right? Whatever you want to include in, we're going to create a blessing and for the end of the year into the new year. So whatever you want to put in, just list it. Don't just list one or two things. And Roseanne, now you have to work, Roseanne. Roseanne, because I have to go over to my, where I'm playing music over there, and it's hard for me to see the tiny, tiny text on the computer screen. So I need to look at my phone. So she's going to be messaging me in Messenger your dedications. All right. So this is experimental, you guys. But, usually for the Gimme 5, we have somebody and then they can dedicate it to something or somebody. But today, you all get to be included in the dedication. We'll see what happens. I'm going to improvise something. But first, while that's happening, while you're typing your ideas for dedications, I will do a short reading. This will be from one of my favorite books, Radiance Sutras, Lauren Roche, the Radiance Sutras. There it is in focus. And I've got one. It's just a short reading. You pretty much can pick any page in here and just take that as a little pearl, but they are strung together in some ways. You see what I did there, you guys? They are strung together, but today I'm just going to read one page. This is from page 263. And this is a little book. This is like the pocket-sized version, and then there's a bigger one. But anyway, let's do that. And I'll go slow and just think about this. It's a nice idea, very poetic. And we'll see you afterwards, and then we'll tally up and keep the blessings flowing in, and I'll go make some music over there. Delight in these practices, my adored one. Play with creation as it plays with you. Playing becomes smaller than an atom travel through the expanse of space, drink the elixir of immortality. Bathe in the stream of these life-giving teachings. Flirt with the tingling sparks of vitality surging through your body. Become liberated while engaging in work, play, and love. Live your whole life as a festival, a celebration. Isn't that nice? Live your whole life as a festival, a celebration. That's one of the things that I think the poet Rumi taught us. Lots of people, lots of enlightened teachers basically have the same message in different ways, you know. Don't worry, be happy. Thank you, Bobby McFerrin. So actually just to give you time, we're going to do Q&A now. If there is any, but usually there are some questions. So we'll continue. You guys can go ahead and keep your dedications coming in, but you know, remember that Roseanne has to send them over. She's got to type them up and stuff. So she's going to send them. So if you guys have any questions while she's doing that, I can do this. If you have questions for me, just put them in, and remember that. I see your comments a little bit delayed from where they are appearing on YouTube, so you know, don't worry if I don't respond right away. I think there's a little bit of a lag, and that goes both ways actually, unfortunately, because the live stream takes a moment to get out from me to you also. So all right, Cornelius, what cars are you restoring right now? I have a 1971 Corvette. Convertible, manual, red, classic, and it is painted. I got done with the body, I got done with the engine. Now I'm putting it back together. So I do need to put the gas tank in. And I have to put everything back together. So that's what I'm working on. I've had it for about a year, so I'm on course, but I'm doing it in the driveway, so it's not easy, and I'm not a mechanic. All right. All right. Any other questions? I like your dedications, you guys. Keep them coming in. And yeah, I appreciate that, Roseanne. But yeah, get good with the copying and pasting. That's good. We already answered the question, are turtles a reptile or an amphibian? I do. At the beginning in the music, in case you're wondering, I have a set. I'll show it to you when I go back over there. I have a set of microtonal wind chimes, and those are from the Ohm brand, which was John Stannard's company. He makes, or he had a line of consumer wind chimes called J.W. Stannard, but his professional line was called Ohm Percussion, O-M. No longer in existence, but amazing stuff at the time, and that's a set of his. They're different from your average, actually Mark tree. I should say Mark tree because last week I was ranting about how it's named after Mark Stevens, but we call them wind chimes too, casually. But that Mark tree is a microtonal. It's pretty cool. They're almost all the same note, just very, very different, slightly different from one another, so it has this eerie kind of sound. Martello, how are you? You're interested in building laptop cajones the easy way. Any tips? I have not built cajones, but I know people that do, and I have, I have a few laptop cajones here. And I've been thinking about, I'm not going to do it right now, but I've been thinking about doing a quick video on I have at least 3 different ones. And I could do a comparison video if that would be helpful, and we could look at how they're constructed. But I would say laptop cajon, obviously the tapas, the playing surface is really important. That's the resonant side. So I believe, you want to get a thin plywood. I think it's still ply, but it might be similar to what they use for a guitar face. fairly thin. The sides can be fairly thick, like birch plywood, like nice plywood. I'd stay away from MDF or really rough plywood, but get good plywood for the sides. And then, and maybe the back too. I don't know. See, those are questions I don't know. But you could probably reach out to like the folks at Luzon Drums, the Cajon Tab folks, or Cop Percussion in Georgia. They make great cajones. I don't know if they make laptop cajones, but I would just ask them. Say I'm thinking about making something myself, and what do you recommend? But obviously, if you're putting together a box, you want to have a table saw probably, and you want to make those miter cuts. I think that's the best. But you can do a lot with just regular tools. Put it together. I don't know. Laptop cajones. I'll make a video of the laptop cajones I have, and we can see. I'll try to show you some of the construction features, and then maybe that would be helpful. Oh, congas or bongos. Is that what you were talking about? Not cajones. Okay. Congas. Now I see. Making some congas. Really? Man, that's way out of my wheelhouse. I don't know. I think you need a lot of gear for that. You need to be able to steam the wood and do all kinds of stuff to make congas. Unless you're going to carve them, or unless I guess you have a lathe, but that's not practical. Laptop congas. Okay, now I get you. I think I know what you mean. Yeah, the laptop congas. You could try. What I would do is get some tom-toms, like a drum set. Start with a couple tom-toms, and maybe you could use those and put like conga rims on them with conga heads. I don't know. I would honestly look for an old set of congas and just cut them down. Just cut the top part off of a conga, put a piece of wood on the bottom, put a resonation chamber under it. I would do that. Just buy an old set of congas and cut the tops off, literally. That would be the quick and dirty way to do it, I think. All right. So maybe send me some photos. You can email me through my website and send links or something, or send me my email's kalanidas@gmail.com, and send me some examples. I think that'd be easier, because I just right now I have to guess, and I'm not exactly sure what we're talking about. But I hope that's a little bit helpful. Are there any questions you guys have about anything I'm doing here right now? Because that would be easier for me to answer. Not that I don't want to help you with all of your projects, but I don't know. Some of the stuff I don't know. I'm just guessing. So if you guys do want to make cajones, though, I think there's lots of builders out there, and just, I've got some of their things here. Like I said, Cop Percussion, I think, is pretty accessible. Luzon Drums, the people that make Cajon Tab, they're in the U.S. I'm pretty sure they would be happy to answer your questions. Okay. Question is how to tune bata. How do you tune bata? It depends if you're talking about traditional bata with the ropes. That I don't know, because I've never owned a set of traditional, the non bata without the metal on them. In general, if you have a modern style bata, like LP or, Skin on Skins, or whoever makes the bata with the conga style hardware, conga bongo style hardware, you would just tune the low heads, the embra heads, to a resonant tone. The iya, we usually put some clay or something on there to weight it down, to deaden it and lower the pitch. But the itotele and the okonkolo are open, and those would be kind of like a conga pitch, the large head, and then the small head is like a bongo head, so pretty high. But then each drum, you want the heads to be resonant but not choked off. And it also depends on the thickness of the head and the size of the bata and everything. But what I would do, and this is what I recommend for most people that ask about tuning, because I get people asking me, how do you tune bongos, how do you tune timbales, how do you tune congas? And I don't mean to pass this off, like not answer it, but I think the best answer is you go listen listen to recordings or watch some videos, listen to people playing the instrument. And, if they're professionals or they're used in a traditional setting, there's your answer. I mean, there are a lot of good recordings with bata on them, for example, and timbales and congas and bongos and, everything. And you can just hear how they're tuned. You can get a sense, and I would tune in on that, no pun intended, and then just try to match yours to that, tune them up until they match or tune them down and just try to get them to match and at the same time get them to a tuning that you like, that works for you, because depending on the context, musical context and the applications, what works for you may be different than what a professional performance group is doing. All right. So if it's rope tuned, depending on, what it has, does it have rawhide? If it has rawhide, then it was probably put together wet and just allowed to dry. But I've seen some of those where it looks like it's, the rawhide or the ropes are wrapped around again and sort of tightened and things. And I don't really know. I've never owned a set of traditional bata. Just for those of you who are not familiar with that, the traditional bata that are used by the santeros, the people who practice the religion Santeria, and I don't know all the folklore, but I just know that the metal, the gods of wood and the trees and the animals and things are different, and they don't put metal onto the drums because is that Chango metal? And it's two different things, and metal is not supposed to go onto the drum. So they don't have hardware on the drums for certain reasons. There's certain, spiritual reasons that they don't put metal. They do put bells on, but that's not the same as attaching, hardware. But I'm not the right person to ask that question really to get into that topic, but I just know it's something like that. There's some books about that, and you could reach out to Michael Spyro, and he would be able to answer that. I think he's got Conga Masterclass is his YouTube channel, I think, Michael Spyro, amazing musician, but I would ask him. All right, so what's a good palm oil for heads? And is that so are you talking about conga heads, bongo heads, drum heads for conditioning the heads? I've heard some people use shea butter. I've actually never used a lot of shea butter. I don't put a lot of lotions and things on my drum heads. I don't have really dry hands, so the drums that I play don't usually get super dry. I would just use some hand lotion with lanolin. Lanolin is a natural oil. It's an oil that comes from, I believe, sheep wool, and it's organic. And if it has lanolin in it, then it should sink into the head pretty well. Do not use anything like petroleum products like Vaseline or something like that, or anything that's greasy. But some people swear by shea butter, and I've used just regular lanolin-based hand lotion. And you can put it on, leave it overnight or something, and then wipe any excess off. You don't want to put too much, but you can wipe the heads down with hand lotion and then come back the next day and just give it a wipe with a damp cloth and clean it up. And the lotion will actually help soften up any mucky stuff, if you've been playing your drum a long time, or maybe it's humid where you are and the drum can get a little funky, around the edges, gets a little dirty, and you can clean it up that way. All right, we're going to move on, you guys, but thank you for your questions. And if you have any more questions, of course, patrons are always welcome to send me your questions through the Patron messaging app, and you can sign up. And please do join us at patreon.com/Kalani over there at patreon.com. And before we go and get into the dedication portion, which will be our final thing that we're going to do today, I just want to remind you that you can donate right now if you'd like to chip in via Super Chat. I don't know how that works, but apparently people here have done it. If you'd like to throw some money in the tip jar, that's always fine. Not necessary, but appreciated. And I want to thank all the patrons that are here, who are here.
So yeah, we got to get onto the music because we usually go about an hour, and we've got about 10 minutes left. I have a feeling we're going to go over, but I do want to say I appreciate you all showing up, and I hope that you enjoy the Tuesday Museday shows. And I'm going to keep showing up. We're already at 11, so the show goes to 11 at least. That was dad joke number 2, if you're counting. I'm going to go back, and that was probably like joke number 12 actually at this point. I'm going to go over and make some music and do my best to include your dedications in whatever I'm going to play. All right, so give me a second. I'm going to go back to my percussion station, and we'll get something going.
All right, let's see. I know the other mic sounds so much better, but that's okay. All right. By the way, so I just want to play, because I mentioned these wind chimes, so I'll just play these so you can hear them. Microtonal. And these are on a video I did on wind chimes. I think I compare 3 different types, so you can look that up. Okay, for this one, I am going to call upon the music of my ancestors, some of my people, the Hawaiian people. And for this, I'm going to sort of anchor this in a chant called E Ho Mai. And E Ho Mai is like a invocation chant. And it's essentially saying, let us receive the wisdom from above, from the chants or the songs. Give it to us, let us receive this wisdom. And I just want to shout out and dedicate to the Hawaiian people who, as you know, live in the middle of the ocean, of the Pacific Ocean, in the area. And I was thinking about that. And I thought, you know what? These people live in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. They are like in the middle of the cradle of life, of where we came from, which was the sea, the ocean. And they're living there. And these people, Hawaiian people, and many of the equatorial and the people that live around the ocean, what they do is amazing because they integrate water, air, land, earth, and fire. And right now, even in Hawaii, they're dealing with Pele, the goddess of fire and the volcanoes. And they live there, and they're so close to the land. They're so connected to the earth, which is, what we are part of. You are part of the earth. I'm part of the earth, right? Like I like to say, you are not in the universe, all right? You're not in the universe. You are the universe. You are part of the universe. And you're part of the earth. So I think the Hawaiian people embody that really well. Not the only ones that do that, but they do that really well. So I'm going to use the ipu heke. This is a native Hawaiian, traditional Hawaiian instrument. What I'm going to do right now is not meant to be a representation of traditional Hawaiian music. It's meant to be something that is based on a chant, and I'm going to use the chant E Ho Mai as a foundation, and then we're going to go from there. And oh, I see your dedications over here. All right, so I'll set up a foundation, and then we're gonna go. We'll do this thing. All right. So we'll start off with a little E Ho Mai, and then I want you guys, every time I say E Ho Mai, E Ho Mai, E Ho Mai, I'm going to say it 3 times, and every time, and then you can join me at least on the later 2, or if you catch it early enough, maybe all 3 times, and I'll do that several times in between. All right, let's see what happens. We don't know how this is going to go. E ho mai ka ike mai luna mai e o na mea huna no ea o na mele Blessings. Blessings to you, blessings to all of the mothers, the sisters, the grandmothers, all of the fathers, the brothers, the uncles, all of the children, the nephews, the nieces, and the grandparents. Blessings to you. Sue Carpenter sends blessings for peace. Shaman Zito, world peace. Lacey Joyce, dedicate to all the musicians who died this year. Sends blessings to their families, their friends. Cornelius Mulholland Music, a dedication for world peace. Eh ho my, eh ho my, eh ho my. Let us receive the blessings from the chants, from the songs, the wisdom inherent in the music. Roseanne says, for the people of Ukraine, may they be strong and victorious. And let's send blessings to everyone in the world who is suffering from the oppressions and challenges of war and hatred, intolerance, prejudice, and biases. Eh ho my, eh ho my, eh ho my. Sue Carpenter says blessings for cures and for cures for diseases. Thank you. No lies, blessings to my wife. And blessings to my wife. Chris Kemp says blessings for our humanity to thrive. Let's say it. Eh ho my, eh ho my, eh ho my. Rebecca Hall, blessings and compassion for any animal suffering from the abuse or extreme weather. Let's remember everybody that's dealing with this winter storm and hope that they find warmth and safety. Marteo Souza, blessings for all the people who carry love through the world. Thank you for that. That's you guys. Eh ho my, eh ho my, eh ho my. Eh ho my, eh ho my, eh ho my. I want to send blessings to anybody who's struggling with addiction, and anybody who has a family member or a friend who's struggling with addiction. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me in this Tuesday Museday. Thanks to Roseanne for helping out. Thank you, everybody. And as always, stay in touch. I hope you have a happy and safe New Year's celebration. And we will see you the next time in the year 2023. Which, if you add up all the numbers in 2023, 2 and 0 and 2 and 3, it makes 7. Just saying. All right, thanks everybody. We'll see you next time. Iho ma